I'm head of the National Research Program 62, Smart Materials of the Swiss National Science Foundation. The Swiss National Science Foundation has 4 divisions, divisions for individual projects, for economy, social sciences in Division 1, for engineering and hard sciences in Division 2, and biology, medicine in Division 4, and the program-oriented Division 4 with the competence centers and the national research programs. It's number 62, which means that this series started very early, probably in the late 70s, something like that. Every year there are on average 1 or 2, sometimes 3 new NRPs are started. You can make suggestions to National Science Foundation when you think it would be time and there is a need for Switzerland in Swiss science, in Swiss economy, to create particular knowledge in a field where we are not strong enough. And then it goes through an evaluation process, and about 6 years ago, the topic smart materials had a good chance. These NRPs run 5 years, and they have budgets, total budgets for that period of the order of 8 to 18 million Swiss francs. For the NRP 62, we had 2 phases. A first phase with 3 years, about 25 PhD students involved, and from various disciplines. Quite many from the field of medical technology, biomed, several from the field starting with chemistry of sensors, and then also some mechanical engineering topics. And we selected for the presentations here 3, of course, of the topics with the focus on medtech, biotech, which are in the second phase, and we'll have 3 presentations here, all by PhD student, or in fact almost finished PhD theses, or not completely. The first one will be given by Jacinthe Gagnon. She's a PhD student in the group of Katharina Fromm at the Fribourg University, and she will talk about nano-encapsulation of silver-based antimicrobial drugs. And the second topic of the NRP 62 will be given by Nassadian Mogham Mohamed Reza. Is that reasonably correct? Well, you will tell it yourself. He's PhD student at EPF Lausanne in the team of Professor Dominique Pioletti. And the third contribution will be from the University of Basel, from the team of Wolfgang Meyer, by the PhD student of Patrick Baumann on polymeric nanovesicles generating reactive oxygen species for efficient cancer therapy. I got some problems. I got a cold. I will not talk too much, and I might disappear when my temperature goes a little bit out of control. Wish you interesting afternoon.
Hello, everybody. My name is Peter Gehr, and I am the coordinator of the NRP 64, Chances and Risks of Nanomaterials. We have 3 years behind us on the average, and we have 2 more years to go, almost. And it's interesting, looking from day to day, you think nothing happened. But comparing with the very beginning, when we started out upon, thematically upon the proposals, we made quite a step forward, I think. At least some of the projects really brought some very interesting results. We have several modules. 3 of them will be presented today. One is the biomedical module, and the person, the postdoc, Inge Hermann, will talk about strong magnetic nanoparticles in the blood. They call it actually, and I really liked this title, single-cell surgery. So they try to cope with individual cells, and they do. You might hear something of that. The second presentation is of a technical module. It's the module the module on these single-cell surgery is the project of, or is from the project of Beatrice Beck from the University Hospital Zurich. The second one is a project led by Jing Wang from the EMPA and ETH Zurich, from the Laboratory of Functional Polymers. This is an interesting program because they are looking into toxicology or toxic effects of abraded nanoparticles from a composite, carbon nanotubes in EPON. It's in an epoxy medium. That's really an interesting thing. And one would think, well, what has this to do with health effects? What has this to do with whatever? This is not a big problem. But if you, probably you will see a picture of carbon nanotubes coming out of a clear-cut epoxy cube. It's really impressive, and it's frightening what you see there. So this is really an interesting thing to be dealt with. And the last one, this is actually Lukas Schlagenhauf, a PhD student, who is going to talk about this. And the last one will be given by Lea von Moos. She is going to, her project is in the module of food containments, and she's going to talk about magnetic iron nanoparticles or iron nanoparticles in the digestive tract and what the toxicological aspects there are. So it's a very interesting problem. You may know or may realize that usually one is very reluctant to talk about nanoparticles in food, although there are tons of foods containing nanoparticles already. And this will be very interesting to hear something about iron oxide particles, iron nanoparticles in food. These are the three projects out of 23 projects, which are bundled into 5 modules, which you will hear something about. So, but now I would like to call my colleague Landfester to begin with this session. And Louis Schlapbach, because he is going probably to leave early, will chair this session, this first part of the session.
A message for everybody, please remember that the contributions and the discussion will be registered, and so also when you participate in the discussion, you should tell first who you are, give your name and affiliation. Yes, so there are mobile microphones which you have, yes.
So, yeah, thank you very much for the kind introduction. I would like to talk about now